There's been a couple of situations that the Big Tree Manual Therapy training with Chris Michaels really helped some of my patients get better. A couple of the cases that come to mind were actually cases that I worked with during the workshop when we had patients come in and I was able to work with the manual therapy techniques on them in live time. I have to admit I was pretty nervous to not have my usual acupuncture tools, but through the assistance of Chris and Kim Holman, I was able to treat 2 people with just the manual therapy techniques that we had learned that weekend. And the first case was a regular patient of mine in clinical practice that I asked to come to the clinic for the workshop, who had tingling and numbness down his left hand that I couldn't make much progress with my acupuncture. I had treated him 2 or 3 times and I wasn't getting very good results. And after working with Chris, doing these techniques, finding different tender points and releasing them with the therapy that we covered over the weekend, he had actually quite a lot of progress over the next couple of days. And I treated him privately in my clinic, I think 2 more times, and the issue completely resolved, also using very similar techniques to what I did the first time with some modifications. And the second case that really stood out to me, actually I've had a couple of cases with people who've had numbness in their hands, which I've been able to treat with these methods. I had a patient who was complaining of a physical pain in her right hand, right about here. And when I palpated the tissue, it felt like the bone here had hardened and grown, like it felt a little bit arthritic. And so my mind was, it seems structural. But after I did some of the evaluation techniques that Chris taught us, I found out that when I put my hand over I think it was T2, T1 or T2, the pain in the hand completely went away. So by treating the T1, T2 area, the pain in the hand got better, and I don't think I would have been able to find that as easily or as efficiently as before learning the techniques and the understanding that we got during the workshop. That's just a couple examples. I've had a lot more clinical successes since then, but that's how some of my patients have benefited from the work that Chris and the Big Tree Manual Therapy training has afforded.